After years of war and turmoil, Iraq is currently actively exploring the transformation path of its post-war economy. In order to promote the full recovery of the economy, the Iraqi government has formulated a great plan to invest $17 billion to promote a project called Strategic Development Road. The project aims to build a development channel connecting the Persian Gulf and Turkey across the Eurasian continent, thereby greatly optimizing and upgrading domestic and foreign transportation infrastructure. It is worth mentioning that this plan will now also be connected with China's Belt and Road Initiative. For Iraq, they hope to bring more opportunities and cooperation through close cooperation with this oriental power. So, can this strategic development road, worth $17 billion, change Iraq's current situation? What kind of future can China bring to Iraq through the Belt and Road Initiative? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now, let's get into today's topic. Iraq is located in the Middle East and Southwest Asia, with a land area of about 438,300 square kilometers and a population of about 43.35 million. The country is famous for its rich energy resources and is one of the countries with the richest oil reserves in the world, second only to Saudi Arabia. According to the latest data from the International Energy Agency, Iraq's oil reserves are as high as 145.01 billion barrels, which accounts for about 10% of the world's total proven oil reserves. Thanks to these resources, Iraq has become an extremely important oil producer in the Middle East and ranks second in the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Like other oil countries, oil revenue is the core pillar of the Iraqi national economy, and it constitutes the main source of almost all the Baghdad government's fiscal revenue. Statistics for 2023 show that Iraq's oil revenue exceeds $115 billion, which has a significant impact on the entire country's financial situation. However, Iraq, which is rich in natural resources, has severely hindered its development due to historical turmoil and conflicts. Especially in the more than 10 years since 1991, Iraq has experienced continuous war and social unrest. These conflicts resulted in heavy casualties and economic losses, severely damaging the country's infrastructure. Against this background, many areas in Iraq are still in a state of long-term instability. The majority of people are living in poverty, and the country's economic development is greatly restricted. It was not until 2011 that the political situation in Iraq began to stabilize. According to statistics, during the war, Iraq's per capita GDP once dropped to only $854. As the situation gradually stabilizes, Iraq's per capita GDP has significantly increased to $3,048. By October 2022, Mohammed Shia al-Sudani was appointed as the new Prime Minister of Iraq. When he took office, he promised to form a strong government as soon as possible and be committed to national construction, safeguarding national security and building balanced international relations. Under Sudan's leadership, Iraq embarked on an extensive project to rebuild the country's infrastructure and explore new paths to diversify its economy. The Iraqi government also realized that the limited resource of oil alone could not guarantee the long-term prosperity of the country, so it began to seek new ways of sustainable development. In this strategic context, the Iraqi government has developed a strategic project worth tens of billions of dollars to reduce dependence on oil revenues by diversifying the economy. So, what exactly does this strategic project look like? In May 2023, the Iraqi government launched an ambitious transportation infrastructure project called Road of Development. This transportation corridor aims to connect the Gulf region with Turkey, spanning the Eurasian continent, thereby optimizing and upgrading the regional transportation network. According to the Iraqi government's plan, the project includes a 1,200-kilometer passenger and freight railway and a parallel highway. The railway line will start from the Turkish border in northern Iraq and extend south to the port of Fa in the Gulf. The entire route is planned to have 15 stations, which is expected to greatly enhance the connectivity and economic vitality of the region. The Iraqi government estimates that the construction cost of the railway project will reach $10.5 billion, while the supporting highway project is expected to require an investment of approximately $6.5 billion, bringing the total investment to $17 billion. As far as I know, the project provides an alternative to traditional maritime routes by connecting Iraq's trade resources with Turkey. This plan shortens travel time between Asia and Europe and transforms Iraq into a transit hub to compete with the Suez Canal. In the past, Iraq's export activities were extremely dependent on port facilities in neighboring countries such as Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. This dependence increases transportation costs and makes Iraq geopolitically vulnerable to other countries. Now, once completed, Iraq's Road to Development project is expected to greatly enhance logistics capabilities. The transport corridor is expected to handle 5 million to 6 million containers per year, with an estimated annual revenue of between $4 billion and $6 billion, and may create at least 100,000 jobs. At present, the Road to Development project has made initial progress. The feasibility study has been completed, the railway design plan has been completed by about 66%, and the highway design plan has been completed by 52%. However, during the design and planning process, the project has also encountered many challenges. Iraqi engineers pointed out that given that most of the Middle East is desert, and the total length of railway and highway construction has reached 1,200 kilometers, the construction work faces great difficulties. In desert areas, it is necessary to deal with the problem of soft and unstable sand on the ground, which makes it extremely difficult to build a solid foundation, often causing the railway track to sink or shift. In addition, wind and sand may not only bury facilities, but also cause serious erosion to facilities, greatly increasing the difficulty and cost of maintenance. Therefore, the Iraqi government had to announce the suspension of the construction of the Road to Development transport corridor. But in April 2024, the government announced again that it would restart the project and hoped to bring more opportunities and cooperation through close cooperation with this eastern giant. What is going on? In fact, Iraqi Prime Minister Sadani is planning to directly connect a $17 billion strategic development road project with China's Belt and Road Initiative. As a global economic power, China's Belt and Road Initiative is not a debt trap, as the West calls it. This plan aims to promote regional connectivity and economic development by building an infrastructure network. By participating in this initiative, Iraq will be able to take advantage of China's economic resources, technical strength, and project management experience. Of course, China has rich experience in infrastructure construction, especially in complex geographical and environmental conditions. Prior to this, China has successfully built the Haramain high-speed railway for Saudi Arabia, a 450-kilometer railway project that crosses the desert area, illustrating the application capabilities of China's high-speed railway technology in extreme environments. Therefore, cooperation with China, especially in terms of technology and experience transfer, will also provide important support for Iraq to solve the challenges of desert construction in the Development Road project. It is worth mentioning that since China's participation in the Development Road project, this project has aroused strong interest in Iran and several Arab and European countries, who have expressed their willingness to invest or participate in this grand construction project. At the end of April this year, Iraq signed a 4-country memorandum of understanding with Turkey, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, which particularly emphasized the strategic cooperation between the participating countries on the project. In fact, as an important country in the Middle East, Iraq has long been supported by China's Belt and Road Initiative in economic reconstruction and infrastructure construction. As early as 2003, China has been actively involved in Iraq's economic construction. In the field of electricity, China has undertaken the construction and commissioning of the Washid Power Plant project and the Rumaila 730 megawatts combined cycle power plant, which has greatly improved Iraq's power supply capacity. It is reported that Chinese companies currently undertake half of Iraq's national electricity supply, which has largely alleviated the long-standing power shortage problem in Iraq. In addition, China has participated in Iraq's oil and gas development cooperation since 2008. So far, China's oil and gas projects in Iraq have directly or indirectly provided more than 65,000 jobs and trained more than 8,000 engineering and technical service talents. In 2021, China's cooperation with Iraq will further expand to the field of education. The cooperation agreement signed by the two countries includes helping Iraq build 1,000 model schools. The cooperation on these projects has also brought bilateral relations into a new stage of development. Now, Iraq has decided to connect the Road to Development project with the Belt and Road Initiative, which is a very wise choice. In recent years, China has been actively seeking to establish deeper cooperative relations with Middle Eastern countries. In particular, through the Belt and Road Initiative, China hopes to strengthen its ties with these countries by investing in construction projects and expanding economic cooperation. So far, 22 Arab countries have signed cooperation agreements with China to join the Belt and Road Initiative. These agreements cover a number of areas, including economy, trade, energy, and infrastructure construction. It is worth noting that China advocates a mutually beneficial and win-win cooperation model, which is different from the practice of some Western countries to exert influence unilaterally. Even for countries with relatively weak economic environments such as Afghanistan, China is willing to provide necessary help and support. Such a diplomatic strategy not only enhances China's influence in the Middle East. In contrast, the influence of the United States in the region seems to be gradually weakening. To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.